Democracy is about engagement. The current global climate right now is really pushing us to rethink what democracy is.
I feel the deep need to give all sides a voice and to actually use Radialsystem as a third space.
What is the role of artists? What is the role of curators? What is the role of creators in this kind of environment?
Zuhören is about the empowerment of communities.
Learning is something to do all together. We learn by listening to each other. We learn by working together.
You cannot really separate politics from the theater.
Art helps us through the process of rethinking democracy.
Democracy without listening is impossible.
I want to welcome all the guests from abroad, from far, from close, from Berlin, to the third edition of Zuhören.
Every 23 minutes, a young black boy is killed in Brazil. So how is possible to do something with art in a city like this? We first have to listen and to learn, because we don't know anything about this situation there. And it's there that we create this art center and then a dance school. We have 300 students, the age from 8 years old to 80 years old, with free classes of all types of dance.
10 years ago, where I was invited to Kurdistan in the north of Iraq. I don't go there to say, you know, this is how it works, this is how you should dance, or this is what I think what freedom is. I go there and I look and I get to know the people and I listen to what is actually needed. And I feel it's so nice to work with things that release the body. So when I go there and I give workshop for women only, for example, then I feel that there are certain things happening which would not happen maybe in the outer space. So we have a safe space which we create.
This is our time, and we have to find a new way that we can look for some truth.
The group most devastated by America's obsession with the gun is African Americans.
We are creating an institution that facilitates the alliance between art, culture, celebrity.
Reach out to these young Can you see a change, a shift, a real tipping point happening now in the United States?
With the rise of police brutality, I think it engaged a group of communities and young people in those communities to speak out and to use art. There are many movements that are coming forward, and there is more of a desire for collaboration and for people to come together so that we don't have just a Black Lives Matter movement or a women's movement or a feminist movement or an anti-war movement, but that they all are becoming more integrated and sharing practices.
In order to change things, you need to empower poor communities. Poor people know better. You would be surprised how much more they know than what we know when it comes to solve their problems. Democracy as we know it is not enough. Handing over power to a few of us is not enough. Whereas I believe, and fortunately I'm not alone, more and more people around the world realize that it has to come from the bottom up.
We think about all the kinds of assets in the world of this and that and money, but really the biggest asset that we have as a species, humanity, is people, and we waste it. To create platforms for people to be the best selves is, to me, that's the thing that I'm most interested in, is how we empower them.
Should it be less good because it's political? No, it should be great art, but it should also address the basic and the most fundamental issues and the most fundamental sufferings that we all suffer in, because art is maybe the only way that will allow us to rethink and to go out of our own paradigms. We're all so used to think and to act in an automatic way.
اللي بدي أقوله أنه بنهاية الورشات نحن بنشتغل على إنتاج نصوص، وهذا السبب أنه اليوم عندنا أصوات نسائية بالمنفى. هالنصوص ما لها أي قالب، هي ما قصة، هي ما مقالة. نحن أصلا ما بندرب النساء على الكتابة ولا بندعي كاتبات محترفات. نحن عندنا غاية أنه تتقدم الحالة السورية وحالة اللاجئين عموما من خلال نصوص بتهدف فيها النساء لتخبر المجتمع الألماني عن أشياء بيظنوا أنه لازم يعرفها وهو ما بيعرفها.
الحياة هو غير موجود فيها. أحاول منذ وصولي إلى ألمانيا أن أمنح نفسي فرصاً، أن أفتح الأبواب لأستعيد أي معنى للحياة، لكن ماذا أفعل؟ اليوم فقط أستطيع أن أفسرها. لقد كانت نظرات ساعات الوداع الأخيرة.
خیابان‌های که خلوت می‌شوند از بوی آدم، رنگ زندگی. یکی یکی کنار می‌رویم، کسی به خیابان صدایم نمی‌زند.
Das architektonische Prinzip dieser Bibliothek ist, dass jedes Regal ist auf Rollen, man kann sie auf- und zuklappen, sie ist also mobil, es ist eine quasi fliegende Bibliothek, und deswegen konnten wir eben auch unsere Regale jetzt hier im 2. Stock aufklappen. Der Name sagt es auch schon, Baynetna, das bedeutet auf Arabisch zwischen uns, auf Englisch between us. Sie sehen es in dem Logo. Und es geht eben darum, dass zwischen uns andere Räume entstehen.
کسی به خیابان نمی‌آید. از پشت دیوارها با هم سخن می‌گوییم. در شهری که گلوله‌ها آسمانش را خونین کرده‌اند.
I am not dreaming. I'm awake. I have been woken by the spirit inside that demanded I open my eyes and see the world around me.
We deserve a seat at the table, at the world table, that we want to be included and seen as human beings.
The film is not about embroidery, it's about Palestine, it's about 12 Palestinian women.
And I think that everything wrong in the world you can see in Palestine, whether it's racism, discrimination, economic segregation.
Embroidery became more and more a symbol of identity. Being a refugee is not only about losing material goods. It's not about losing a house and
a country.
It's about losing a country.
I would like to invite you to roll over to each other's shoulders, so you will be supported by each other's backs. And listen to that sensation. It's a physical listening. I just wanted a moment where you are going through your body, through listening. And I would love to take that also as a base for this weekend. We will get a lot of information through our ears into our minds, but we all have to go also through our bodies.
Wenn ich sage Frauen, dann meine ich echte Frauen. Diejenigen mit braunen Nasen und Schultern, die von Beginn an nur sich selbst gehören. Die Weisheit scheint unter ihrer Schminke hervor. Die selbstbewusste, starke Frau verfolgt ihre Gaben und Talente. Einige Frauen bleiben zu Hause, sie lösen sich auf und werden zu Wasser. Und diejenigen, die rausgehen, werden zu Brot und Speisen. Und wenn ich sage Frauen, meine ich diese Frau.
Im Osten der Welt so etwas wie die Zeitung, das Internet, das Tagebuch und das Geschichtsbuch zusammen. In Gesellschaften, in denen nicht jeder lesen und schreiben lernen kann, in denen Kriege und extreme Klassenunterschiede Menschen davon abhalten, in die Schule zu gehen, sind Gedichte so etwas wie das kollektive Gedächtnis aller.
Das Schlauchboot sank und mein heißes Herz vor Europa wurde kalt.
Das Wesentliche sagen, auch den Schmerz ausdrücken, ohne sich dabei selbst zu entblößen.
The theater that I founded in 2014, which is just after the Gaza war, is a theater that contains 450 places, and it's in the form of a theater school for youth from a very, very disadvantaged neighborhood in Jaffa. And this was the point. It was in the beginning when I understood that you cannot really separate politics from the theater.
Let's go more. We can move more.
The first time that we have a panel with peace projects or projects between culture and politics from Israel.
We demand two things of a government. One of them is to sit at the negotiation table in order to reach a peace agreement with the Palestinians, a peace agreement that will be acceptable on both sides and that will honor all human rights. And the second demand is that in this negotiation, women will be involved.
Shalom.
Democracy cannot be taken for granted, and you are in a vicious circle in each round of conflict in Gaza, in Lebanon, in the West Bank, and so forth.
The language wasn't Kurdish, and I remember we spoke about Kurdishness. Being Kurdish means to be formless. How you can have a form, you can ask for a reform if you don't have a form, and I found it quite interesting.
Yeah, what is the alternative in between the artistic practice and the social engagement? And actually, there is no alternative. It should be. It is interconnected.